Imagine the giant hope of emancipation, the promise of a new life free from bondage. But what happens when that freedom is immediately met with a new set of chains, crafted not from iron, but from laws? Black codes were state and local laws enacted in the southern United States immediately after the Civil War, specifically designed to restrict the freedom and civil liberties of newly freed African Americans. They fundamentally denied Black people basic rights, aiming to maintain white supremacy and a subservient labor force in the post-slavery era. These codes denied civil liberties in several profound ways. They controlled labor through restrictive vagrancy laws, which criminalized unemployment and forced Black men and women into year-long labor contracts, often for meager wages. If a freed person left their employer before the contract expired, they could be arrested and forced to return. Apprenticeship laws also allowed for the forced labor of Black children. Access to land was severely limited, with many codes preventing Black individuals from renting or owning land outside of designated areas, trapping them in sharecropping systems. Legal rights were curtailed, as many codes prohibited Black people from serving on juries, testifying against white people in court, or carrying firearms. Even the right to marry across racial lines was forbidden. For freed individuals, these laws created an inescapable cycle of economic dependency and social subjugation. They could not freely choose their work, acquire property to build wealth, or seek fair justice in the legal system. This meant that the transition from slavery to true freedom was severely obstructed, as daily life was still governed by the dictates of a white majority aiming to control their actions and opportunities. The codes made it extremely difficult for Black communities to establish independent lives, accumulate resources, or fully participate as equal citizens. Consider Mississippi's 1865 law, which explicitly forbade freed people from renting or leasing farmland, effectively forcing them into labor for white landowners. In South Carolina, a Black person needed a special license, which was often impossible to obtain, to work in any occupation other than farming or domestic service. These intricate legal frameworks, often enforced by local sheriffs and judges, were not mere suggestions. They were highly effective tools used to bypass the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery, and to maintain a system of racial hierarchy through explicit legal discrimination. Ultimately, the Black codes were a systematic effort to reconstruct slavery in all but name, demonstrating how legal structures can be manipulated to deny fundamental human rights. They left a lasting legacy of racial inequality, paving the way for the later Jim Crow laws, and they underscore the long and arduous struggle for true freedom and equality that defined the Reconstruction era and beyond.